So when you think of Kinglar as a Pokemon, what do you think? A weak Pokemon? Well, I'm about to prove you wrong on that. So welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a video on why Kingler is possibly the strongest Pokemon one of the strongest water types of Generation 1. So, let's start off with Generation 1, obviously. In Generation 1, Kingler gets access to Swords Dance, and, well, that doesn't sound too good, right? We don't get access to Agility, right? Well, Kingler gets access to Hyper Beam, and Ice Beam, Surf, Swords Dance, Substitute, and more. So, Kingler's preferred run set is Swords Dance, the Crab Hammer, Blizzard, and Hyper Beam, right? Well, that actually makes Kingler one of the best. Not only that, you do get access to Body Slam, so Body Slam is something to consider. Body Slam, you could just Body Slam your opponent. Not only that, you do get access to Guillotine, which, well, makes you one-hit your opponent. So, yeah, you can argue that its biggest downfall is its speed, but you do get access to Rest and Substitute to make that up. So you could run something in Generation 1 like Toxic, which Toxic, despite having that low accuracy, and they got that buff in Generation 2, Toxic could still be a nasty combo with Rest and Substitute, and Swords Dance, Body Slam, and something like Crab Hammer. So, in Generation 1, Kingler was pretty overpowered, right? Well, no. There are many other water types like Gyarados, Blastoise, and Starmie, and even Tentacrual, because in every water you would see Tentacrual all around, that are much more available than Kingler. However, does this mean that Kingler is a bad Pokemon at all in Generation 1? Well, to that I answer no. Kingler was actually a very devastating part of a team, and Stab Crab Hammer plus Swords Dance boosted. If you even got off one Swords Dance, you could probably sweep an entire team. So, is Kingler good in Generation 1? Well, actually, yes and no. The reason why no is because it's out, as I said before, outclassed by many other water types that are more available in the region, like Blastoise, Starmie, Tentacrual, all that. And Gyarados, as I said before, which had more attacks than Kingler at the time. So, and yes, because Swords Dance plus Stab Crab Hammer could really pack a punch. So, I'll just leave you guys to decide. Plus Hyper Beam, but yet again Hyper Beam. Anyway, next we're gonna go on to the next generation. Here, if I could just click my tier correctly. Ah, dang. There we go. This may take a while. Now let's go to Generation 2. Now, in Generation 2, if we look at our Kingler over here, Generation 2, bring a lot more moves into the variety of moves you can run. So, you're probably wondering, how does this affect anything? Well, we do get access to, Amnesia, which Amnesia, if you didn't know, is a pretty decent stat boosting move. Now with Toxic's buff, and access to Substitute, Rest, and more, could this effectively make Kingler a sweeper? Well, the same thing. Yes and no. Kingler, with now the introduction of IVs, could run as fast physical support with its decent defense and, well, off special defense, but its decent defense will make it a decent sweeper for bulk. So, in Generation 2, can Kingler be used for stalled? Yes. Well, personally, you could probably run Rest, Toxic, and probably even Body Slam if you really want it. Substitute, and probably Body Slam just for that extra damage. Body Slam, because you need some attacking move. Body Slam, Crab Hammer, or even Sleep Talk. So, is Kingler worth it in Generation 2? Yes, actually, and no, actually. Just the same with Generation 1, Kingler is yet again outclassed by many other water types of the region, such as Mantine, Gyarados, which you could get a shiny Gyarados. I know it's not available quickly, but you can still get a shiny Gyarados pretty easily. Gyarados, Mantine, Feraligatr, Octillery, and more, and even Tentacrual. So, Kingler, yes and no. Yes, because this set could definitely help you a lot, but no, because you're still gonna, there are still more convenient water types. Now, moving on to the third generation. Actually, we're just gonna skip to this third generation. Yes, let's go this one. Now, Kingler could be a much more effective Pokemon in this generation, and for one simple reason. Do we have agility? No, we don't get no agility. Kingler could be a much more effective Pokemon. Now, there still is no agility in this generation, which really sucks, but now we get access to Knockoff. Knockoff, if you didn't know, is a pretty decent 20 base power move. So, now yet again, Knockoff is not the most incredible thing you'll get, but what we do get access to Swords Dance. So, you could make possibly Kingler work in this generation, with access to Crab Hammer, Swords Dance, Ice Beam, and Knockoff. You could make it actually work pretty decently. Just as in that generation, Amnesia worked pretty well. Now, the move Knockoff and Ice Beam could work as a deadly combo to help Kingler. So, is Kingler worth it in Generation 3 to use in the metagame? Based on the current technology, yes. Kingler is finally not outclassed by Pokemon like Feraligatr. It has much more of an advantage in the meta. The only thing it's really going to be taken out by is probably Sceptile or any grass type like Breloom. But you don't see grass types in the common meta. The same with these guys. The only Pokemon that are probably going to wall Kingler is something that could take a water hit like Sceptile or something that's going to be able to kill you first. Those are probably the only Pokemon that are going to take you, or they're going to be a threat. Pokemon like Starmie, Sceptile, Tropius even, and more will be a threat to you. However, you don't see electric types, and neither do you see grass types too often in the metagame. So that's what makes Kingler probably one of the best in this generation. So Kingler, without a doubt, is pretty good in this generation. Now we're going to go to Generation 4 to 5, since they're effectively the same in the meta. Now, we're just going to click that. Now, in this generation, Kingler, I believe, gets access to Agility, if I'm correct, in both Generation 5 and 4, but we'll just go to 4 just to make sure of that. So in Generation 5 and 4, Kingler gets access to, I believe, Agility. Yes, it gets access to Agility. And now with its much more, move pull, Kingler could take total advantage of this. Now getting access to lots of moves, like Iron Defense to boost its defense, Crab Hammer, Surf. With all these great moves, Kingler makes Kingler much more useful. Agility, Rock Slide, Crab Hammer, X-Scissor, Ice Beam, although preferably I prefer Ice Beam because it takes care of grass and dragons. But hey, you could go decide on that. With Crab Hammer and Ice Beam and X-Scissor, Kingler is now just as good as it was in Generation 1. Kingler can now be an effective sweeper, with its main moves being Agility and Crab Hammer, although carrying Ice Beam just in case you run against one of those pesky grass types or dragons. This could also make it do well against stuff like Dragonite and many more, and common threats like Giga Drain, Flygon. So, Kingler is now pretty much beastly in this generation. Now, so is Kingler useful in Generation 4 to 5? The answer is yes. With his Axis moves like Crab Hammer, Agility, X-Scissor, Ice Beam, Superpower, you name it, Kingler could be an effective sweeper on any team. And now, finally, does Kinglar stand the test of time? We're going to go and skip all the way to generation 6 to 7, since they're effectively the same thing. Does Kinglar stand the test of time? Has Kinglar always been decent? Is Kinglar even worth it now to be using in this generation? Yes. Just like generation 4 to 5, Kinglar is still very good. Agility, crab hammer, ice beam, and rock slide. Although personally I like running X scissor. Kinglar is now an efficient way to run your team. And with the introduction of having home claws, Kinglar is an amazing asset to any team, with having some pretty cool stats and many more. So, overall, the only thing that are really gonna wall you is any water type like Cluster and Blastoise and any of those. But nonetheless, and any grass type yet again, but you don't see grass or electric very common. But nonetheless, Kinglar is still useful to this day. So overall, what is my thoughts? Is Kinglar good for generation? It's good for generation 7 to 6. I mean, 7 to 6. Are we on that? Yeah. Yes. Kinglar has officially standed the test of time. So should you go and use a Kinglar? If you haven't already, go do yourself a favor. If you're looking for a water type, and you don't want to get something like a Gyarados and wait till level 20, go pick up a Kinglar, or Tentacrual too, but go pick up Kinglar. Anyway, I will all see you in another video. Bye-bye.